All right. What's going on, party people? It's your man Grill. A little quick late night snack here. Some hash browns with some cheese on it. It's 11:43 at night. Just got home from my last signing of the day at 11 o'clock. So today I had three signings, 7 a.m. Then two house inspections. Then I had a 1 o'clock and then a 6 o'clock. And the 7 a.m. couldn't go because, and sorry for eating y'all, I'm hungry. 7 o'clock this morning didn't happen. No documents. Didn't get the documents until almost 9 o'clock. By then, there was no way I could do it because the signer could only be available at 1 and 5. I had a 1 o'clock already, had a 6 o'clock. There was no way I could squeeze that in. So I was like, man, I just lost one signing. And I was like, no big deal. Keep pushing. Don't quit. And next thing I know, I get a phone call for 4 o'clock with one of my direct clients paying more. You know, they always pay a certain fee, so they was paying more. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll be there. And I told them, I said, well, 1 o'clock I got this, 6 o'clock I got that. They said, can you be here at 4? I said, I'll be there at 4. So got that all squared away. Did the 4 o'clock. Went and did the 6 o'clock. Was very fortunate that I went too far from a UPS. Went and dropped some documents off to UPS. Then when I'm coming out of UPS, while I was in there first, I met a good old friend of mine, a co-worker. I won't say friend because we weren't. I don't know how I don't think we would classify ourselves as like friends, but we worked together. So it was good to see her. I remember her kids are grown now and everything. I remember her and husband had the little kids, so they all grown now. And I spoke to her for a little bit, and then as I'm leaving, I see a FedEx truck pull up. I was like, oh, maybe I can drop my FedEx documents from my direct to them. And so I went into the grocery store thinking that they was in there, picking up documents or something that the Harris Teeter was doing, the FedEx drop box. And he was like, nah. He said, but you can give them to me. So he was like, yeah, I got you covered, man. So I gave them to him, got them shipped. Now with this client, they didn't need a receipt or anything. So I was able to just give it to him. And I already checked online and everything is tracking the package will be delivered tomorrow. So that cleared me up, and then I helped me to get to my 6 o'clock on time. So got to my 6 o'clock, knocked that out, come home tomorrow tomorrow, the 1st, I got to drop off my rental car. So I was like, okay, drop off the rental car. My 6 o'clock didn't have any scan backs, and it was for UPS, and UPS was already done for the day. So I said, I'm going to try to knock out some more house inspections. And while I'm going to do that, an order comes in for 8:30. Now this is like 6:35. So an order comes in for 8:30. I'm like, bet, I can do that. And the house inspections weren't due to the 1st. I said, no problem. I'll just do them on the 1st. And I got this closing real quick at 8:30. Well, had a lot of problems with it. It took 2 hours to do. I mean, a solid 2 hours. And got the documents. Didn't have time to review them. Just boom. And I get there. And this is why you good business owners, true business owners, don't quit. So I get to the signing. And also, thanks for hitting the like button, sharing, all that good stuff. I get there. And everything seems to be smooth. We got the witnesses, because on my way there, I find out that it's a Florida property. Didn't realize that. So we get the witnesses, the witness, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, everything's good. Then as I'm sitting there doing the ID, I see that her name on the ID, driver's license, is different than I recollect from the order. The order had her name spelled with an E in it, and it was supposed to be an A. I said, hold on. I looked through the documents real quick. Sure enough, there was documents that had an E and then an A. And I was like, whoa. So got in touch with the loan officer, told us what to do, line through, she initials, write the correct name down, keep it going. I said, bet. Thought everything was good. Then he says, oh, did you see the grant deed? I'm like, no, it didn't. Oh, it's in there. I'm like, I'm telling you, sir, it's not in. Okay, fine, I'll look. No grant deed. Next thing I know, so it took us a while. It took us like 15, 20 minutes to figure out the name thing. So what I decided to do was, before the loan officer called, we'll just sign everything that has where the documents has your names correctly. No problem. Get that done. Then I said, okay, we hear the loan officer, talk to him, no grant deed. He emails it to her. She says she'll print it. Okay, no problem. Come to find out, the grant deed is actually a quit claim deed. Then I asked him, I said, because he mentioned about her changing her name change. I said, does she have to sign in two different names that need to be notarized? No, she doesn't. You sure? I'm sure. Okay. Next thing I know, and then I said, does the grant deed need witnesses? No, it doesn't. Okay. Y'all already know. I get the document. It has two names on it. I look. It has witnesses. They said, well, you can call this person because they said, later on he called. And then I said, well, this is not a grant deed. This is a quit claim deed. Oh, okay, my bad. And then he was like, well, we already figured it out. Yeah, her husband can be the witness. I said, from my recollection, I was always told the husband cannot be a witness for a Florida property that they're signing. It can't be family members and this, that, and the other. People that has a vested interest or any kind of interest in the property. And if anybody out there knows something different, please tell me. He said, nope, the title lady already said it's good to go. And they kept, and now this is one of the things. Loan officers tend to sort of cut you off because they already think they know what you're going to say. And sometimes that happens with title people because they don't really want to hear. Some of them, not all of them, some of them don't really want to hear what you have to say. So he was cutting me off, wouldn't listen to what I had to say. Then she was cutting me off when I called her. And I had to just let them finish their statements and then say, excuse me, let me finish. Let me share this with you. Share it. And then they like, oh, well, I didn't. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. So come to find out, she did need to sign both of them. I mean, signing two names. Or at least that was on the document that it had two different names and in the notarial statement. So I called the title person. They tell me, oh, before I even said anything out of my mouth, yes, he can. The husband can sign as a witness. I said, are you sure? Because Florida law states ... from what I've been told by Florida title companies. Oh, well, I'm in California, and they in California. So, well, I just thought it had to be somebody over 18. It could be a family member. I said, that may be fine for your state, but it's not fine for Florida, from my understanding, unless you know something different. Well, basically, I don't know. She ain't know Florida law. Not a problem. I said, so then I got to go with what I know is the law of the land. And fortunately, she gave in, acquiesced, and went with what I was saying. We found another witness, got it all done. And I stood up the whole time, 2 hours at the table. I didn't even realize I was standing up that much, but I was tired, and I knew if I sat down, I was gonna fall asleep on. I ain't gonna lie. Just like y'all said, Griff, you falling asleep not eating your hash brown with cheese. Hash brown with cheese is good. So, as a business owner, this ain't got nothing to do with being a notary. As a business owner, you don't quit. As a business owner, you find solutions. You're not sitting there complaining that things went bad. Now, you probably saying, I wonder how much you got paid. I will tell you this. I got paid what y'all say we should be getting paid. It was under 200. It was not no 200. No, wasn't near 200. But I got paid more than a C note and less than two C notes. You decide how you want to believe. Imagine what I got paid. So the question then becomes, if I got paid, what everybody says I should get paid as a notary. What was the problem with me being there for 2 hours? Because y'all said I should get paid a certain amount. I got paid a certain amount. And this is one of the things that I keep trying to get notaries to understand. You can sit here clamoring and whining and complaining and all this carrying on about what your worth is and you need to get paid this, that, or the other. But here's the deal. At the end of the day, you still got to get that job done. And we don't know what's going to happen. Anything could be happening. I thought it was going to be a quick, simple, easy, roll in, get it done, I'm out. And it turned into something tremendously long. And you can have a $60 signing that's nowhere near as complicated. Just because the dollar amount is high does not mean it's less complicated. Because if you sat there and broke it down, I probably made a little more than $60 an hour if you really break it down. But if you add in the drive, 30-minute drive there, 30-minute drive back, just the whole process. Did I really make out financially? Add in the printing costs, all of that. It was good pay if it would have took 30 minutes. So the bottom line is this. You just got to get out here and do this job. And here's the thing. You also got to make sure you understand your state law. You also got to be willing to stand up for yourself. And sorry if I seem sort of slow because I'm tired and all that. But I wanted to put this video out because I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow on Friday or Friday. Hopefully we'll have Friday or Friday. I should, but who knows. Had I not understood or known for the law, or at least a little bit about it, I could have ended up doing something incorrect. The person, the title people, and the lender, they just wanted to get this thing done. They weren't really listening to me. They didn't think I knew what I was talking about, maybe. They had some type of feeling about me as a notary. But just notaries in general. So I had to stand up for myself. Let them say what they had to say. And then say, okay, well, excuse me, let me share this with you. And then we go from there. Share that stuff. And then they like, oh, I said, this is what I was trying to share with you. These factors here. Oh, okay. Well, we didn't realize that. Oh, I didn't know that. That's what the lady was saying about the Florida law. I didn't know that they couldn't. I said, I understand you didn't know. That's why I'm sharing with you what I know from doing them. And this is what I've been told. Now, if you know something different, I will gladly abide by it if you can provide me proof of what you're saying. And she knew she couldn't. She was just basing it off of her state, which was California. And she quickly understood that, okay, things are different. So I'm going to just go with the notary because the notary seems to know what they're talking about. That's a plus for me. Well, come to find out, both of the sign, well, it was only one signer, the wife. The husband, he wasn't signing on anything. And this is a property, investment property they had down in Florida. They up here. And both of them are realtors or real estate agents. I would say real estate agent because there's a difference. Both of them are real estate agents. Don't you think that they was pretty impressed with me sticking in there for 2 hours, not fussing and complaining and getting the job done for 2 hours? Gave me a good review. They had a review sheet in there. I did everything I could to keep from having to drive back out there. And who do you think they're going to remember and want to call on if there's ever any kind of notarial issues that they may have at a closing? From here on out, every notary they come across, they're going to compare it to me. They're going to say, okay, let me see if you a professional like Griff, studious like Griff, know your stuff like Griff, and can stick in there and hang in there with us like Griff. Like any notary who can't match what I did, you're in second place all day long to me. And I'm not trying to be arrogant or anything, but when you give great customer service, they're going to compare everybody else to you, and that's just simply it. You get your hair done, you get your beard trimmed, you get your car worked on, you get your floors done at your house, whatever you get done, the babysitters, all of that. Once you come across somebody who is of excellence, you're going to compare everybody else to that. Everybody else who is in that same arena, that same industry, you're going to compare it to them and say, well, okay, well, you're just as good as Fred. You're nowhere near as good as Fred. You know what? You're even better than Fred in these regards. Something. But if you're not out there doing the work, nobody will ever have anyone to compare you against because you're not out there doing it. You can't quit. And I was determined to see this thing through. I didn't care how long it took, none of that. Now, on a personal note, this is why I always talk about you having your family straight. And when I say straight, meaning all on one accord, understanding what you're doing, why you're doing, and make sure the trust factor is there. I didn't have my wife. My wife was not calling me, when you coming home? Where you at? Are you really at a signing? None of that. Because she trusts me and she know I ain't out there catting around. And you have to be able to have that type of trust in your relationship, so you can go out and do a last minute signing that's going to take 2 hours. If you don't have your relationship to that point, you do need to try to work toward it or find something where kind of way that y'all come to some type of agreement. Like, look, Sharon, Kevin, whatever your spouse's name is, I'm not out there doing anything. I'm working just that or the other. These are opportunities. Yes, they come up in a fashion that may not be familiar to you, but I'm going to do these orders so I can make the money that we need to make for this family. And that's what this was all about. It's all about making the money I need to make from the family. Started off with 3 signings, went down to 2, back up to 4. They made good money. And then the money that I could have made doing a house inspection that would have accounted for August did not trump what I made. So even though I did 2 hours doing the closing, that same 2 hours I could have spent doing house inspections, I wasn't going to make. I probably would have made. I was going to make less than half of what I earned tonight. So, and if you know what my house inspections are, then you know how much I approximately made. So, whew. And I just finished doing scan backs too. 155 pages. No, 161. Sorry, 161 pages. So, pretty big loan package. And this wasn't even a VA loan. So, man, this is delicious. Now, see, I was going to make some cinnamon toast, but I put the butter in the refrigerator. I like my butter soft, and I didn't feel like waiting for it to soften up. And then I was going to cook a waffle, and I didn't feel like doing a waffle. So I said, let me hit some hash browns. And these things are hitting, right? And they making me even sleepy because, you know, when you get something heavy on your stomach, you get all nice and cuddly feeling and everything. Get you some of that shower powder to put on where it's, yeah, where you have your powder all up on your neck and just sleep nice and cool and comfortable. Yeah, so the only thing else I got to do is just print my documents for tomorrow. Right now, I only got 2 signings. I'm going to double check that. I think I only got 2, might have 3, but I'm going to check that. And get that done, get up in the morning, take my rental car back, get a new rental car. Then I got an apostille coming. Yeah, I got my first apostille. I'm helping another notary out with it, so I'm excited about that. So I got to do some research. I may have to drive to Richmond to make sure I get it done in time. So I got to do some research on that and sit down and see how long it's going to take. If I ship it there, what the requirements are, print the document off their cover letter, whatever it is called, I forget, transmittal. That's what I'm calling it, and everything. So I'm excited about that. And here's what's interesting. The person who called me, I was the ninth person they called asking somebody to help them with an apostille. The ninth person. I was not the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, or eighth. I was the ninth person that they called. This is an example of what I keep telling y'all. You got to be ready when they call. Everybody's always bragging and marketing and all of that. And then they call. Now, later on, I'm going to ask her more details about, how did she find me, this, that, and the other. What was the process? Because I just want to know. I want to get a good understanding. But I find it crazy that she had to call 9 people in order to get one. And this is what signing companies are going through. Can't find notice. All this stuff, all of this taking courses and all this, that, and the other. And now I know some of y'all going to want to blame the course taker, especially when it comes to Apostille, but it's not their fault. You got to be ready to rock and roll when the time comes. I know y'all thought I fell asleep. Y'all like, Griff done fell asleep. Nah. You got to be ready to rock and roll. They called in the middle of a signing. Phone rang. Because sometimes the title company for that signing might call. So I answer the phone. Say, hey, I'm so-and-so from this place out of the state. Do you do apostilles? Yes. And the thing is, although it may be my first, I already know what to do. I already been doing some research prior to. So I already know what to do, and I already got everything set up. I actually got all the forms and stuff already loaded on my computer. Once I get the documents, look it over, get everything set. And the only thing I have to find out and go back and double check is whether or not it'll be quicker for me to mail it or drive up there. Drive up there is about an hour, and I already know which day of the week I can drive up there. It's either going to be Tuesday afternoon. It's going to be Tuesday, or it's going to be or Wednesday. And I'm the type I probably would do it on Wednesday so I can be up there first thing in the morning when they open. Because Tuesday I have or early morning, well, a 10 o'clock closing, so I'll probably do it on Wednesday and get it done and then ship back out and all of that. But I got to make sure that they have walk-in service. But you got to be ready, y'all. I'm telling you, you got to be ready. And I'm excited. I mean, I really am. I may not look like it or sound like it, but I am stoked. I am pumped, for this opportunity, especially to help out another notary. I am truly happy. And I'm just like grateful that she didn't give up after 8. That she said, I'm going to try this one. I'm going to try another one. And she picked me. And just think about it. Now, I'm the 9th person. However, she, maybe through Google, if she was looking up Google and looking up people who did apostille, somehow, some way, either they wouldn't do it or they was charging too much or something. And I do want to know. I don't need to know who the people were. I just want to know the logistics of it. And I'm sitting here like, wow, she gave me a shot. And I am truly appreciative of it. And I'm going to make sure I do this thing 1,000% correct. This is the person who I am. It's going to get done just like I 2 hours for the signing tonight. Didn't even think about it. I ain't worried about the pain, the tiredness, this, that, or the other. 2 hours got it done. Do this here apostille. Get my other stuff done. As a business owner, I don't know what else to do if I'm a business owner and doing this full time. I have no other choice but to do this. And too many of y'all, you're tinkering with this because you have your W-2 to fall back on. And I had my W-2 also at one point. All done. But I ran my business as if I didn't have a W-2. I knew I had to go to a W-2, but I ran my business as if I didn't have my W-2, meaning I was always ready to do business. I was always ready to get out there and make some money. And if you are not in a position, have your mindset and got yourself in a position that you're operating as if you're full-time and you're always ready to do business, you're going to struggle. And you're going to, because you're always trying to find a shortcut, always trying to find some way to make it easier. Stop looking for easy and just go through the heartache, go through the pain, go through the embarrassment, go through the undercharged for this, I overcharged for that, and whatever, so you can find your happy medium and then walk in that medium. But too many of you are not ready for business because your mind isn't on business. Your mind is on everything else. And I got to do it's a video that I want to do about consistency, because that's the key to a successful business. But there's some other factors in that. It's just, and I'm gonna break it down to y'all. So can't do it tonight. I'm too tired. And always make sure you brush your teeth before you go to bed, no matter how tired you are. And I always brush them teeth, no matter what. Always brush your teeth before you go to bed. But here's the thing. Just get out there and do this business. I'm serious. Just get out there and do this business. Just get out there and do it. And I think you'll be fine. I think you really will be fine. So I'm done. I'm tired. Y'all have a good one. Talk to y'all later. Peace.